Hello and welcome to A Sustainable Life. My name is Abigna and today I'm going to be showing you how to make my lovely, creamy, and very hearty butternut squash soup. Yes, I know. Fall is filled with butternut squash, pumpkin, spice, and everything nice. I love making this soup because it's so easy to make and it's actually my husband's favorite soup. So whenever he asks me to make it, I'm delighted to make it for him because it really just takes a handful of ingredients and it's super simple. So let me run you through the ingredients so that we can begin. The ingredients you'll be needing are 1 large butternut squash, cannellini beans that are cooked, 1 large white onion, some vegetable broth, some garlic. This is optional, 1 red pepper. I just like to keep things spicy, but you really don't need it. Some sage, some olive oil, and some salt. And that's it. Don't be intimidated by butternut squash. It might be a little bit scary to look at. It's really big and tough, but you know what? There is always a way to cut this. So let me show you my preferred method. I just like to cut off the top over here. And you can see it's so beautiful. The color is amazing. Just stand it up this way and start cutting into it like this. Now that I have a grounding for it, it is a lot easier to get through. Almost there. There we go. Look at that. Oh, it's so beautiful. All you have to do is just take a spoon and scoop out these seeds here. You can roast them up later on, but right now for this recipe, we won't be needing them. So now that that's done, all the scooping, I'm just going to take a little bit of olive oil and brush the top here so that it all gets a nice coating. We're going to be popping these into the oven at 400 degrees for around 30 minutes because next, before I completely take them out of the oven, I want to also add in my onion and some garlic. Cut the onion into large chunks. This should be fine since we're going to be roasting it in the oven anyway. Grab your garlic as well. So I just added my onions and garlic and a little drizzle more of olive oil onto my partially roasted butternut squash. And I'm going to pop this back in the oven at 400 degrees for about 15 to 20 minutes or so until the butternut squash is fully cooked. Now that our squash is fully cooked through, and you can poke a knife in it and it slides in and out very easily, we're just going to let this cool for around 15 to 20 minutes until we can actually handle it because it's going to be really, really hot right now. Now that it's cool enough to handle, I'm going to gently flip it over. And now scoop out the butternut squash. Now that we got everything scooped out and ready to go, look at this beauty right here. Yum, butternut squash. You can still see it steaming. Oh my gosh, amazing. Oh, it smells so good. I'm gonna be using my Instant Pot, but you do not need to use an Instant Pot. You can just use a regular pot for this. Since we already have everything roasted up and ready to go, it's actually quite easy. But I just really like using my Instant Pot because it's so fast. Starting with the saute mode, adding in the rest of our olive oil. We're gonna be adding in those onions and garlic and the pepper. A pinch of salt as well, because why not? Since we already roasted the onions and garlic, it's really not gonna take too long to make the soup. Everything is quite hot. Add in our butternut squash here. Let's add in our beans, as well as the broth. Give that a good mix through. Add in about another cup or two of water, depending on how thick you like it. Remember, it's going to be kind of thick because of the beans as well. Add in our sage, as well as the rest of our salt. I'm going to turn my Instant Pot on manual setting to high pressure for about 10 minutes, and it'll be very well cooked through by then. All we need to do is just take an immersion blender and just blend it up a little bit. If you're not using an Instant Pot, just cook this for around 20 minutes on medium-low. So I think it's done now, and I am excited to try it. I did leave out one ingredient. Sorry guys, I totally forgot to tell you, but this is an ingredient that I like to put in, is a little bit of maple syrup or agave, just around a tablespoon. It really helps to kind of bring out that sweetness of the butternut squash. I just like to put that in there. It's optional, you don't need it, but I have tried it both ways and I can wholeheartedly say that it really does taste good with just a little bit of that sweetener. Okay, so it looks pretty good. Now all I have to do is take my handy dandy immersion blender and you can use a blender too, but it's just so handy to have this tool. I'll link one right below. Definitely less expensive than a regular blender. All you have to do is clean out this part and that's it. So really, really easy to clean. You just throw it in like one of these and then put some water in it, and then you can really clean it out very easily. So that's one tip for you guys. And also, did you know that the Instant Pot has a very handy dandy lid handle? It's really these handles right here. You can put the lid on either side, like this. So if you ever wonder where to put the lid, now you know. I think I really like this consistency here. It's kind of gloopy gloppy, but that is soup. Let's be honest. All right, do a little taste test. Heaven. Oh, that is so creamy and so, so good. So satisfying. I'm gonna take this to work tomorrow. I love that sage. It just like, it's a burst of flavor. Sage really goes well with butternut squash or sweet potato or pumpkin, pretty much all of those flavors. Sage is a really good pairing. I love using fresh sage whenever possible, but you can use dried as well. It's just not going to be as it's just not gonna be as flavorful. This is just so creamy. Like, you don't need the extra cream or butter or whatever fat that people normally put into it. This squash already has all the creaminess you'll need. Thanks so much for joining me today. I hope you like this recipe. If you do, please give me a big thumbs up and share with a friend. If you like this channel, then please subscribe and hit the notification bell next to the subscribe button so that you'll be notified every time I post up a new recipe, which is every Friday. So stay tuned, guys, and thank you for watching. Bye!